I still don't, like, get it. Why Hasan Porker and Maldavius Fig Tree? Howdy, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure, where today we will actually be doing something in the basement. Oh dear. Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I sort of expected this. I sort of anticipate that every time we log in now, every day, there's going to be something new over there, and we're not going to play into it. Going over there and looking at it is playing into his hands. That's what Wickle Pip Whistle wants us to do. We're going to ignore it. I don't care what's over there anymore. I'm not going to focus on it. I'm just going to swim down here. Oh dear, do we reckon they're stuck in here? Can they not figure out how to get out? Is it because there's like a divot? There's like a slight change in height? Do we think that? Yeah, it looks like that might have been what was causing it. They all got kind of stuck in there. That's not good. Also, it could be that maybe, like, there's something wrong with the water flowing in here. We never did figure out how to fix this problem here, where there's, like, a bit of a ledge. Because we don't have that, like, up here, but we do have that down here. Do you think if we just, like, dug all of this out, that could potentially make it worse, is what it looks like is happening? Also, it's, like, dark in here. Oh, because I don't have night vision, maybe? No, actually, I do. I can't speak to that. I don't know what the issue is. We're gonna go ahead and make this hole a little bigger, so that hopefully. Oh goodness, why did it start working so much faster there? Did y'all notice that as well? What is going on around here, huh? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to fix the water later. That's not relevant. All we came down here for was to very quickly feed the axolotl. I feel like we have a large number of the white ones and lesser of the others. So I'm going to try to actually, you know what, the pinks are like really outnumbered. We're going to try to give some to the pink ones if we can. So I gave one to that pink one. I'm going to try to give some to this one. That one's already gotten it. Come here, you. No! No! Get back here! Come back here! No! Did that count? I think we messed it up. I think we messed up today's axolotl breeding. We're not leaving it at that. We're gonna get the axolotl breeding correct before we continue. I know it's not super relevant, but it matters to me that we get the axolotl breeding at the top of each episode. So I'm gonna get a couple more fish, and we're gonna try again, gosh darn it. Oh, and by the way, I know that I said that we were gonna do all of this out here, but there's no urgency for it at the moment. That's the problem with a lot of projects that I have said we're going to do, and that I fully intend to someday do, is that there's not a great deal of urgency on my part to get it done. Okay, come here, you. I think that we need to now right-click on this one. There we go. Alright, we actually managed it, but can they find each other? They're actually making this, like, slow approach. This is romantic. Oh, here's the meet cute. They see each other from a distance, and they make another pink one. There we go. The numbers are increasing. No blue ones still, though. No blue ones still. We're hoping. We're going to get there before the end of the year. We're making it happen. All right? There's no urgency to do a lot of these different projects we've got going on around here, which is why I sometimes just, like, abandon them shortly after starting them. I intend to go back to them. Okay, so that one is now hatched. We just gotta wait for him to grow up and see where his scoot ends up. We already know that there's a likelihood it's just not gonna work, right? So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to come over here, and I want to try to dig into the basement from, like, level right here in the ground. If I just start digging in this direction, how far till we get in the basement, and where do we come out at? Ooh, interesting. Okay, so that comes out right there. That's not exactly what I expected, to be honest with you. I didn't expect that to come out there. But then where is this relative to the next floor of the basement? Because we know there's more basement down here. So just kind of continuing on that exact sort of plane, if we dig in this direction, we should eventually come out in more basement, right? Yes, indeed. Barely. Really? I thought it was much closer to being... I mean, oh, you know what? I should have known. Because we built this place level with the sea. It's literally sea level. Well, kind of. It's define sea level. Is this block technically above sea level? If it's like, I mean, technically, yes, it's slightly above the water. So we built this slightly under the water. This is like those crazy people who built New Orleans below sea level. What were you thinking? Of course it's gonna flood, you lunatics. Meanwhile, this was intentionally built a block above. So yeah, we're going to run into some issues because it's like built a block above this block, all that's built a block below. So if we want to actually link all of this together, we're going to have to figure out some kind of way to do that. I feel like I'm just saying word salad right now. What I actually want to do, and what my priority is today, is finishing the basement, because the basement is in a bit of a rough state, and has been for a very long time. Ever since we decided to expand it out down here, because remember, it used to be a nice little basement. You know, it came right down to about here and had a wall, and it was good. And then we extended it so we could have these chutes go up and down, and we extended it to have these portals all over the place that didn't really work out. Also, I don't like this, and this is something else I want to change. Even though I said that I liked this, I was wrong. I was wrong, and I like it better the way it is upstairs. Right, not right there. I actually did get confused, though. I like it better here, where there is... It's all inset in this, like, instead of bumping out in the middle. I think that looks a little bit silly. I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. Like, literally right now. I still don't know exactly how I want to design this place. Like, I don't have that figured out completely, but I do want to go ahead and fix this. And I'm going to do something real quick. Bit of a preemptive move here. Maybe not, like, right there, because that's going to make doing this a little harder for myself than it needs to be. But I'm going to set this out like that, so that when I start breaking these, I'm also going to go ahead and collect this berry. Yes. So that as I start breaking these and the water starts rushing out, it won't flood the whole basement, right? You see what I've done there? You see how clever I am? What a clever boy I am! I certainly am indeed a clever boy! And now we can break this one, just like so. We'll probably leave the vine, or maybe we'll I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the hidden drop chute, like that's tucked way behind the vine. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter one way or the other. So get all of our... Uh-oh, we've lost a sign. That's not good. Now, there it is. Everything is fine in the world, so there we go. And just like that, I think it looks infinitely better already, so we can clear all of this away. Those are much faster to break. I think the vine... Ooh, you know what? It doesn't have to go, necessarily. I'll tell you what we do need to do with it, though. We're going to clip both of these berries. And then what happens if I just punch it? It goes away. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But I don't feel like getting the thing out that's going to allow me to like clip and snip them. So we're going to do that insteed. And then we'll just run upstairs with this berry. And we'll exchange it for a bit of bone meal, which I know that we have an abundance of. Don't worry. We're going to do it. I feel like I need to clarify. This episode is going somewhere. This episode is going somewhere. We're going to have to get this out anyway. Well, I don't know. Do I want to snip them so that they don't grow further than they already have? Where did I put the vines up here? Oh, they're like out in front. Yeah, I don't know about that. Because see, what I was thinking of doing was just having these be here like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I want them to grow all the way. I think I'll let them grow all the way, and then we'll kind of decide from there whether or not we want it like that. Meanwhile, all of this down here, keep in mind previous floors, the way that we designed them, we had these segments, right? That were sort of in different sets, right? These set segments that are, 5 blocks wide. Do we care about that? Do we want to carry that over in the... Didn't that cause a lot of problems for us later on with the size of the segments, trying to, like... make sure that it all fit? I think we're not going to worry about that. I think we're not going to worry about the segments. We're just going to have the walls be solid down here. And then that way we don't have to worry about, you know, having it, like, fit evenly. And we'll just put these in the corners, so to speak. Well, not so to speak. That's exactly what I mean. And we're going to fill in all of the holes back here as well. So, I mean, I feel like I'm just rambling and not actually explaining what we're doing. But... we're completing the room is what's going to happen. So all of this is going to be one solid wall all the way to this corner. We'll fill in that hole. We'll have this swing around and go that way. And then we'll have the floor done, and we'll figure out what to do over there. And here's the issue, right? Here's the issue. I'm still not sure. Because what I kind of want is for the basement. What are we supposed to do over here? What have we done up here? See, that's been like that, and that's been like that. But then this one up here has this extra layer on it. Do we want to do that? Why did we do that on this layer? Did we ever determine an actual reason? Oh, you know what it is? I think it's because right here, yeah, it's a different building material. That's the only reason we did that on this floor. And I don't think we need to worry about it on subsequent floors. I don't really think it matters so much, necessarily. But I see that I have already started doing it in certain areas. But I really don't need to. It would save me from having to break out and replace the roof with the tiles. But then, I'm not sure what to do. I feel the crushing weight, the anxiety of choice weighing down on me. Well, I'll tell you what. For right now, let's focus on clearing out everything up to a certain point. Maybe to this staircase. And then beyond that, I'm not sure. Because I don't really know if we want it to open up over here. I like the idea of having a level, but do we really want to open it up towards the... I'll tell you what. Let's even shrink our expectations further than that. We'll start off by putting down some torches. And that way we can prevent mobs from spawning in these hallways. And then we'll just focus, really narrow it in, really just clear out this section of wall. There we go. So that's all smooth now. And I'm going to take out the floor. See, just like that. And now we're going to focus on filling all of that back in. Do we have more tiles in Deep Store? Gosh, I hope we do. I really hope that we do. We might have to break all of this deep slate and turn it into proper... tiles, using stone to fill in the bits in the back that aren't going to be visible. And yeah, we are currently rapidly running out of the tiles. Also, these are growing. I think I might like them fully grown. We'll see. So what I got to remember to do, and in fact I'm going to do it right now before I forget, is I need to get out the tools and equipment box and go ahead and fetch Lucky and put it in place of Silky so that I don't inadvertently just immediately break the blocks again and have just regular deep slate. Okay, now we can come back up here and we can turn, I guess, all of them into tiles. We'll probably end up needing, you know what, and even if we don't need them all for this project, we'll need them all for future projects, that's for sure. Wow. I severely miscounted. That was nowhere near enough. Fortunately, I think we have some in Deep Store, and I don't know why I said it like that. Let's find out. Oh, we've got so much stuff in Deep Store. Wow. Super helpful. Wow. Actually, wow. Wait a minute. Where did all this come from? Oh, you know what? We did dig a massive tunnel. And I kind of forgot about that. Okay, so maybe that second time I overdid it, and we've got too many. But we're gonna need them because eventually we're gonna punch the hole all the way that way. I keep going to that hallway, all the way that way to the outside, probably at some point. In the meantime, now I'm going to work on re-leveling the ceiling here. Can we not? Can we please? There we are. So what happened here was basically gravel fell. Do I really need to fill it all in? You know what? Yeah, because I don't want mobs spawning up here. And even if we do end up having to dig it back out later, when I extend the floor above here, that's fine. That's not that big a hassle to deal with. There we go. Uh-oh, that's the outside. That's what lies beyond. We'll have to probably resculpt part of the outside, because we're going to have a wall going here now. Yeah, so the outside's going to have to be redone at least a little bit. For right now, I shouldn't do that because that's a mess and I can't get back in. It's gonna be something like this, though. A little bit of something like this, and that'll make it sort of easy to patch from the outside. I think this can go away. This is no longer needed here. There was a portal inside of here, as well as like a death trap. Lest we forget the time there was a death trap. But I didn't build the death trap, I built the portal, and it's gone now. Do this all the way around the top, like a nice border. Like we used to have when we did, I think we've talked about this before. You folks remember wallpaper? A different time in our society, for sure. I think we are going to go with the polished deep slate slabs. Which just means that I need to go get a bunch of polished... but there's no other floor has them. No other floor has them. Every other floor has just done the tile roof. But does that mean that every other floor is correct? Or is every other floor in need of the deep slate slab? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think... Well, if we're ever going to expand to the next floor, we're going to have to replace this level with deep slate tiles anyway, and we made a bunch of deep slate tiles. Let's just do that. Of course, now we've gone from having not enough deep slate tiles to having too many to back to having not enough, because we definitely need way more to do this ceiling level, but we know where to get a deep slate, so it's fine. I'm having to be super cautious, because if I just like hold it down for more than like a millisecond click, then, well, first off, I can't actually click as fast as a millisecond. You know what I'm saying, though? If I hold it down long enough, it'll just rip through the ceiling, multiple layers, and that's a hassle. This kind of works. I just have to maintain speed. Oh, no. That's going to be an issue to deal with on occasion. Not a big one, though. Not a big one. Not a big issue. Hello, the outside world. I see this is going to be a bit of an issue, isn't it? Oof. So why is cobblestone harder to break than regular stone? You don't believe me? Watch how quickly I can do this. See, so I missed a piece back there, but you can see it's pretty consistent. And I can maintain that speed all the way up until I get to the cobblestone, where it just stops. Why is that? Oh, okay. There's all of that removed. Let's prioritize filling in right here so that nothing swoops in from above. I don't think I've been awake long enough for anything to swoop in from above, but just in case, you know, just to be a little on the safe side. Once again, we've run out. Oh, you know what? We can go ahead and use the 13 of these back here. I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, man, we are so close. One more stack, gotta get her done. Definitely need some of the... Well, that's unexpected. It's never happened before. I guess this is a slime chunk, but I also thought it was bright enough that things wouldn't spawn down here. I thought we specifically checked that with, what is it, F8? Yeah. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. I'm distracted now. I'm all flustered. I really only need one of these. We'll bring 3. Oh, you know what I just remembered? We actually have a thing that we need right down here. Right over here, we can go ahead and convert one of these into the tiles, and we only need the one, really. Then we'll go back up, and we don't have to go all the way to the top now, see, because what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've done the thing down there, so we don't have to go up there to do the thing. So you just come right over here and do the thing right here, yeah. Yeah, looky there. Okay, the accent's gone and I don't know what it is anymore. Now, to be clear, I don't know what the accent was to begin with. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Let's fill in these holes. We're definitely going to need to get rid of all these torches. Not because we don't need them, because we do. It's the only thing keeping us from being overwhelmed by monsters down here. But we want to replace them with the sort of more proper... lighting like the lanterns that we've got all around here. And the dragon eggs on end rods. That's another good one. Maybe we just do a bunch of those. Why did we put that in the corner? I actually don't know. I do kind of think it looks fantastic. Like, it looks spectacular. But I really don't know how to sort of design around that. First things first, let's head back upstairs a ways. And see if we have any more of the bricks. We do. And it looks like that might even be enough. And then we've got to make the decision, right? More of these? Where are they? Right in front of me. Big stack of them. Swap that in. We'll take that. I think that was Wickles, but we're going to keep it. We only have 3 end rods. I can't remember how to make them either. End rod. I don't think it was a difficult process. No, it's just a popped Cortus fruit and a blaze rod. We could have a ton of them if we wanted to. We could light up the entire basement like that if we saw fit. We could have them going all along this wall here at set intervals. And it would look spectacular. That's something I hadn't considered, by the way. Is that what is the actual length of this basement? And is it going to be a problem if I try to have torches at set intervals? Is that going to present an issue with the size that we have now made this place? And are we going to worry about it? Or are we just going to put down some torches and kind of hope for the best here? Let's get those out of there. Let's get that down there. And let's go ahead and toggle F8. And with the way that we're doing the lighting now... It should no longer show up, you know, green if I'm just holding a light, because it's no longer... I think we're doing lighting with the... I might be misremembering, but I think I'm doing lighting with the shaders now, so that when I hold this up and it gets brighter, you'll notice that it no longer changes to green. It's because the game no longer interprets that as an actual light source, which is what was happening before. Now it's just doing the lighting on my end, which is spectacular. It's just a visual thing, which means that it's much easier to figure out where exactly I need lighting in a room like this. So this is the dead center of the room for now. That's going to change. Let's see if I put one there, and I put one right here. It's going to be a little dark. You know, that's going to be a little not super bright, but it's going to be enough to keep mobs from spawning. And considering what we've done down here today is a bit of a temporary operation, just to kind of make the basement look less horrific. This is scary now, though, is what we've done. This looks like something out of a horror. Let's get some more bone meal. We're going to go ahead and just say that we do want that to be completely filled in like that. And doesn't it look creepy? From like right here especially, as we kind of come down, doesn't it look like... Can you imagine if the lights just started flickering? Actually, when I move, they do kind of have a bit of a flickering aura about them. That is spooky, though. Like, imagine something at the... Like, imagine they flicker off, and then back on, and then off, and then back on rapidly, and in the middle, there's something back there, right? They off and on and off and on, and then in that middle section, right, when you have just like a tiny flash of light, there's just a creepy entity. Yeah, I shouldn't be thinking about things like that with Wickle running around here, old Wickle Pickbussel, you know, causing all kinds of fear and terror. Yeah, no, this is fantastic and terrifying, and it's nice to have a basement that's in order. Now, we also have this issue where I sort of thought that was closer to where we are here, and that I was going to be able to have that just kind of come right out and be at a level with the basement. Now what we can do is we can just create like a door here, you know, a sort of a door, and we can post a couple of, well, no, we can't put iron golems. The iron golem's got to be far enough away from these guys that it won't interfere with this. Because I think if we have an iron golem too close to there, it won't spawn a new one, because it's already got one that they might consider. Well, we'll figure out with snow golems. We'll place down a couple of snow golems, and they can keep an eye on the door, and then you kind of pass through there, and you're in here now. And it'll intercept this stairway in a way that isn't disruptive. I don't know how. Maybe we locate it to here, so it's actually in line with this break already. But then how do we transition to be down here? Maybe we just don't extend the basement all the way over there. That's something that we haven't considered, but would be an easy solution to this problem, is what if we just don't? You know, you could call it a cop-out if you want to, but what I call that is just being clever. Just being a clever boy. Just don't extend the basement in a direction you don't need to. And we don't need a lot of room down here right now, although I do already know what my next project in the basement is going to be. I've already got it figured out exactly what I want to do down here. Probably in that corner, but let's head upstairs. We'll kind of see what it looks like on the outside and whether or not there needs to be any changes done there, because I'm assuming it's a little bit of a mess. I've got some grass and I've got some dirt, and hopefully that's enough to be getting on with dealing with this issue. That's bothering me, and I feel obligated to go check. Yeah, so here we go. This is the situation we've dug ourselves into. It's barely an issue. It's barely a situation. Looky here. Okay, you know what? Right here, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. We need to have the dirt come up, have the grass, and then that is messy. I don't like the way that looks. But when that's done, ooh, shoot. Okay, have the grass, and then have the dirt, and then break that. And then just like that, it's a little obvious, you know, just need to do some more feathering. Just got to smooth things out a little bit here. Just got to smooth things out a little bit and have sort of a this thing happening here, right? And just like that, I mean, we've only just gone and done it, I'm pretty sure. I think we've only just gone and done it. That's perfect. You no idea there's like a building there. No one could tell. I like that over the last several episodes, and over the course of this whole month, the month of June has been a month of sort of restoring nature in this place, sort of, in a sense. I mean, that doesn't really make any sense. Not really restoring nature, but restoring a more natural look to the island, because I'd spent so much time since we started this series. The whole first half of the year was kind of spent smoothing out the island. You remember when we started, the island was lumpy, and the island had a bunch of trees. And really early on, maybe even as early as January, I got rid of all the trees. And then as the month progressed, remember we had to build the barn, so we flattened this part of the island out, and we flattened all that part of the island out. We flattened all this out to build this thing here, and we just kept making the island more and more flat. And I think it looks better now. You know, we've sort of smoothed out that hill. We've added the Hobbit Hill. I think the grass also helps, smoothing out the coast over there. I think excuse me? This guy, he's got an arm on him. I'll give him that. He attacks from very far away. Never drops what I want. Hey, we can come up here now and check this guy. He's fully grown. Son of a gun! Get out. Go ahead. Just get out of here, you. I don't even care that the train is picking up my glass. In fact, I prefer it that way. Did it not pick up that other one? What happened to the other? Is it still sitting up there? What? Why? That's under the track. Or I guess over the track. The track should pick that up. What the heck is going on around here? I could look this up. There's probably someone out there that's got a perfect design for this. And I just refuse to. If I'm gonna go look, we'll figure it out. We'll go look. We'll go see what's happened. We need to be weary of traps, though. We need to be weary of anything that might blow up and cause death and devastation. It looks like all that's been added over here. There might be another creature inside. No, doesn't look like it. It's just Maldavius fig tree and the pig. And then now there's the these, which I assume are there so that he doesn't escape anymore. Yeah. Okay. I still don't get it. Why Hasan Porker and Maldavius fig tree? I understand why you'd make fun of Jason Hall right now. He's being raked over the coals for incorrectly characterizing, mischaracterizing, I should say. Intentionally, seemingly intentionally mischaracterizing the Save Games initiative. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's an attempt to... the Stop Killing Games, right? He's intentionally mischaracterized it to turn people against it because he's a shill who is in the industry, is what is being alleged, and is what seems to be most likely the case. He's also just a... I don't know if you remember that time that someone sort of made fun of him and put him in a video game, and he had the game taken down from Steam, claiming that his intellectual property was in the game, but it wasn't. He filed a false copyright claim. I don't even think he did. I think he had some not lawyer... I might not have the story straight. I'll admit that right out the gate, but I'm pretty sure what happened is he had a not lawyer in the UK who cannot legally practice law in the US take down a Steam game for having his intellectual property that was not in there, and then his not lawyer from the UK was so stupid. You can read the back and forth between him and the developer. He just keeps being like, well, you can't do that. But your content's not in the game. It's like, well, you can't have our content in the game. And it's just not in there because he's dumb. Much like Jason, in quotes, Thor, Hall, Maldavius Fig Tree Pirate Software. They're both just stupid idiots. And he's a smug little Nepo baby. And it's fun to watch him get raked through the coals. He deserves it for a multitude of other issues. And I don't understand why people watch him. He's a little gremlin man. A greasy little gremlin man who also cheats in video games. Right? Like that. Excuse me. Sometimes he just stares at his phone for 5 minutes and then magically figures out the solution to a puzzle. How convenient. I can understand why. I just don't see why they're both. I don't. Wickle, what are you getting at? Wickle, I assume Wickle Pip Whistle watches this show. Hi, if you're watching. Why do what you do? Why try to blow me up? Why put Maldavius Fig Tree and Hasan Porker? I don't understand. Help me make it make sense. You strange entity. And why are you on my server? And why are you bothering me? Why don't you just go build something? Yeah, this is Minecraft. Go craft something. Something not destructive. Have you truly nothing better to do with your time than just bother me and be a nuisance? Until next time, thank you folks for watching. God bless you. I'll see you later. Goodbye!